This video is for DBT Cloud administrators who want to set up single sign-on for DBT Cloud with Entra ID. Configuring single sign-on and role-based access control are best practices for using DBT Cloud for Enterprise. These configurations provide enhanced security for your organization when users authenticate into DBT Cloud. Let's jump into the demo. We'll start in DBT Cloud. You need to be a DBT Cloud admin with admin permissions to complete this integration. You also need to have a developer license and an enterprise plan in DBT Cloud. You'll find your account settings on the bottom left navigation menu by clicking on the company name and then Account Settings. A new navigation menu will appear. Find Single Sign-On in the menu and select it. We'll be going through the native non-SAML Entra ID setup, so we'll change the provider type. Change from SAML 2.0 to Entra ID single tenant. You'll see we also have Entra ID multi-tenant, but we recommend using single tenant. We'll start with the login slug field. This login slug should be a unique company identifier that you're going to set. It needs to be a unique value, and as it shows here, it will be appended to the end of the login URL. Under Identity Provider Values, the DBT Cloud admin should copy this callback URI and share it with the Entra ID admin. You will need to set up the SSO configuration on the Entra ID side. Switching over to the Entra ID side of things, once you're in the Microsoft portal, you'll see a dashboard that looks like this. First, click on the tile for app registrations. Go to the top menu and select Create a new registration. Add a name for this application. This name will be visible to your end users, so name it accordingly. I'm naming it DBT Cloud. For the supported account type, select Single Tenant. In the field marked Redirect URI, take the link you got from DBT Cloud and plug it in here. Use the drop-down to select the web. Select Register at the bottom. Next, we'll want to go to the Authentication tab. In the menu on the right, select Manage and then choose Authentication from the drop-down. Make sure you have the redirect URI there. Confirm that it's the same value we copied and pasted from DBT Cloud. Now go back home, then go to Enterprise Applications. If it's not showing in the main page, use the search bar to find Enterprise Applications. Next, find the app you created and select it. Now we want to select Assign Users and Groups. Select Add User in Groups. Select a user to be added to this application. This is the step where you will specify the users that have access into DBT Cloud by selecting Assign. The user will now be able to use DBT Cloud with the integration we just created. Now you will go back to Home and go to App Registration again. Find the app you're working with. Go to API Permissions. This is where we will set the permissions needed for Entra ID to send direct permissions to DBT Cloud. Go to Add a Permission. Go to the Microsoft APIs and to Microsoft Graph. Then find the permissions that are specified. The ones that we need are on the directory, so we need to find them. The two we need are directory.access.asuser.all and directory.read.all. You want to make sure that the user read is already added. Then we can add those permissions by selecting that option. Next, you'll want to confirm Grant Admin Consent to DBT Cloud, so select Yes. Next, you'll create a client secret. So go back to the left navigation menu and select Certificates and Secrets under Manage. Here you will create a new client secret. You can call it anything you want. We will name it DBT Cloud. Next, you have to select an expiration date. The longest possible time frame is 24 months. Be sure to make a note of the date when it will expire. If you do not update this date before the expiration date, your DBT Cloud users will lose access. Click Add. Once you have the client secret in place, you'll see the value and the secret ID. You'll want to copy the value. This value will disappear at some point, so you want to copy it and save it for later. You need to add this configuration on the DBT Cloud side. Now we'll go back to the Entra ID overview page. We're pretty much done with the configuration of the application on the Microsoft side. Now we have to plug in the values in DBT Cloud. As the DBT Cloud admin, you'll paste in the client secret in the DBT configuration. You'll also get the application client ID, copy it from Entra ID, and paste it into DBT under client ID. Lastly, you'll grab the directory tenant ID from Entra ID and paste it into the tenant ID field in DBT Cloud. Finally, there's a domain field. You should enter your domain. This will more than likely be the end of your company email address alias. For example, a domain for us could be dbtlabs.com. Once you get everything plugged in under the DBT configuration, hit Save in DBT Cloud. Now that SSO is set up, every user will be redirected to sign into Entra ID when they try to access DBT Cloud the next time. Users who previously logged in using a username and password will be directed to sign in using Entra ID. As an account admin, you will still be able to sign in using a password. This is done by design to make sure that you can still go in the event that the configuration is incorrect. Or if Entra ID is unavailable, you will still be able to sign in to DBT Cloud. As a DBT Cloud admin, you are the one who will ensure that your users can log in to DBT Cloud. You will help your users log in. You can also make the DBT Cloud icon available in Entra ID, or you can provide the link to your users so they can log in. We recommend that you verify that your users can all log in and that they have the right level of access. You can edit or delete the SSO configuration in DBT Cloud if necessary, but it's not recommended unless you encounter issues. You should keep SSO in place as a security best practice.